Yeah, so far, so good. All right. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Yesterday on my first stream, I was basically inundated with trolling messages. All right. Here's what happened. Allow me to explain why this happened. Because there was absolutely no way to prevent this from happening until you actually played on a stream. Okay. So, with all of its new games, Capcom instituted a new system called the Capcom ID system. What it is you create an online account on their new website, this Capcom ID website. And this website is your online identity for all Capcom games, including games like Street Fighter, Resident Evil, and all of that. If Capcom has promotions or opportunities, they'll email you via your account, your Capcom ID account, so you're in the know about it. In fact, that's how I registered for and got into the Street Fighter 6 closed betas last year. All right? And so, this account ID is linked with your online profile, and any game you play for Capcom, you're essentially logged into your Capcom ID account. So, when you play Street Fighter 6, two things happen. You log into your console account, whether that's Xbox Live, PlayStation, or I guess it would be Steam if you're playing on PC. And then you also log into your Capcom ID account. So you're logging into two at once, all right? Even it's weird, it's confusing because there's a menu in the game that says friends list. But the friends list says, oh, this is your Capcom friends list. Press right thumbstick to go to your Xbox friends list. So there's two friends lists. Yeah, there's two, okay? So even if you had previously, before you bought Street Fighter 6, you went into your console settings or your PC settings, you said, I don't want friend requests. I don't want people to invite me to clubs. I don't want any of that. And you turned it all off, it does nothing. Because Capcom has their own system set up separate from that. All right? Now, you would not know that until you played Street Fighter 6 because no other game has used it in this manner before. All right? So when you log into Street Fighter 6, now if someone sees your online Capcom ID, which you can blatantly see if you're on a stream, people will know your name, they can go to the Capcom ID website and they can spam invite you as a friend. And what happens is they do it so many times that it overloads the system. You could go to like, oh, I want to delete this request. It doesn't even exist anymore because they can invite, delete, invite, delete, invite, delete. And that's what they were doing to me yesterday. They would invite, delete, and I'd be like, well, I can dismiss the request, but if I try to accept it so I can block the person, you can't even accept it because it says, oh, this invite doesn't exist anymore. Okay? So the problem is, and this is really boneheaded on behalf of Capcom's part, they have it by default that any invite you get pops up on your screen. And there is absolutely no system whatsoever to stop the pop-ups in the game. I'm going to repeat that. There's no system in the game to stop pop-ups in the game. Right? Like, what? That's like saying you're in your car driving, and on the dashboard there's an alert. But the only way to disable the alert signal is to go in your house, go online on your computer, log into your car's company's website and say, disable alerts. Then you get back in your car and the alert stops popping up. It's exactly the same premise. Why would you have the ability to disable this issue not in what you're doing that the issue is in? It doesn't make any sense at all. Why make you go somewhere else, right? So, here I am, trying to play Street Fighter 6 yesterday, and every single moment that I'm not in an online match, because thankfully when you're playing an online match, the pop-ups stop. But every moment I'm not in an online match, invite, 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 invite. Like, what the hell is your problem? How stupid can you be? Why would I want this? Even if this were intentional and I wanted pop-ups, why would I want pop-ups every second? Why would I want pop-ups on my screen when I'm in training mode with a character and there's commands on the screen I need to read and the pop-ups are blocking the command inputs? Like, this is stupidity. And this just proves Capcom didn't test it. They didn't. They just assumed it works, and they didn't have anyone actually test it to see how intrusive it could be. So anyway, as I'm playing, people are telling me, well, we think what it has to be is you have to go to the Capcom ID website outside of the game on a PC, log in with your account, okay, and then there's options. So, first of all, I haven't logged into the Capcom ID website since the first beta last, what was it, October? So I gotta log in, I gotta find out my password, you know, I'm trying to do all this shit. I finally get in it, and then there is an option. It says, turn off friend requests, turn off guild requests or clan requests, just turn it all off. So there's all these different options. You have to turn them all to off. So then I do that, okay? We go back into the game, the pop-ups continue. And I'm like, what the hell? So at that point, I was like, you know what? I don't really care about this at this point. This is so stupid and annoying. I'm just going to ignore it, which I did. So I went about my merry way. I still played with Blanca offline. I just unplugged the Ethernet, which I guess you don't need to do. Someone explained to me, if you go into your network settings on your Xbox, you can tell it to just go offline without having to unplug your cable. So if I need to do that ever again, now I know how to do it, which is cool because I didn't know that you could do that, but that's convenient. I don't have to get up and pull my cable out and plug it back in. So I played with Blanca offline, then I went online for 2 hours. When I was online, anytime I wasn't playing a match, invite. Now, luckily, they were pretty smart in this regard. They put it in a system that you can block your name and everyone else's name. So basically, your name doesn't show up, nor anyone else's. So there very well could have been people who were doing really disgusting names and insulting things. I never saw a single bit of it at all. All I saw was a bunch of asterisks, which is good. That means these people can't get control of the stream. You know, all you're seeing is these pop-ups. It was hilarious because people on my stream were like, what a bunch of losers. Like, what are they literally sat here for your whole stream just sending invites? Yeah, they're losers. That's how these people are. You have to understand, this is the tip of the iceberg of the things that these people do to harass me and my family. It's ridiculous, you know, to think that they would do that. This is like nothing compared to the things that have already been done, okay? So, basically, it was very annoying, and what are you going to do? I put up with it. So at the very end of my first stream with Blanca, right, I'm sitting here and I'm chilling with you guys for like an extra few minutes, and I said, well, now that we're done with the gameplay, can we maybe try to figure this out again? So I leave the game again. This is the second or third time I left the game. I go back in. Now all of a sudden the pop-ups stop. And all the options, like the options for friends and lists and everything, all grayed out. So I'm like, so it worked. But the problem was, when you went on the Capcom ID website, it doesn't work right away. Because I'd done this hours before. And it didn't take effect in the game. It just kept spamming me with these messages. So, here's the deal. If you're going to play Street Fighter 6, alright, and you're going to stream it, I strongly recommend you you go into the Capcom ID website and you set it up to make it only friends on your friends list can send you invites to stuff, or you just disable it entirely. Because this is a method by which people control you. You can be trying to play the game, and maybe someone's salty because they lost a match to you online. Now they can just sit there fucking sending you requests for 2 hours. And every time you try to do anything in the game, you got fucking pop-ups in your face. I mean, it's stupidity. This is not just a streamer issue. This is for everyone who plays the game. I can't believe they put no option in the game to disable it. That's just ridiculously stupid. If anything, just say, I don't want pop-up messages on my screen. Okay, good. Done. So now people can endlessly send me friend requests. I'll never see them unless I check the menu. How did they not know that was something that people would want in 2023? Like, that's complete lack of any kind of big picture thinking, right? So anyway, I strongly recommend that. Go into the Capcom ID site, log in with your credentials you already have, all right, and block those abilities or limit them, because you can limit them to only have people who you want being able to send you those messages. So, good news is, after that first stream with Blanca, when I came back at night for JP, my second character that I used, 0 messages, because they're disabled. So, it worked absolutely perfectly. And I had no issue moving forward after that, which I was obviously happy for. I'm like, good. Now I don't have any issues. Now we're in a good position where I can play and enjoy and not have intrusive bullshit. So, and then here's the other thing. This is something that we discovered yesterday. You remember the Battle Hub that was present in the beta? Now, Battle Hub, what it is a virtual lobby where your avatar that you've created for the game runs around and can interact with all the other people's virtual avatars. There's game cabinets you can sit down at and play games on, including, I think, Final Fight and Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo were supposed to be in there. And then also you can sit down in cabinets and have matches against people in Street Fighter 6. Essentially, it's kind of a social network, kind of a mode. Kind of think of like, you remember PlayStation Home and stuff like that? Kind of feels like that only in Street Fighter 6, right? So it's kind of a neat aspect. I think this is going to be something that'll come into play as more people play World Tour Mode. Because when you play World Tour Mode, you're going to level up your avatar. And one of the main features of Battle Hub is your avatars can challenge each other to matches. So imagine my ridiculous-looking avatar fighting with E-Honda headbutts and throwing fireballs and doing shoryukens, right? It's going to be pretty funny. So I think that eventually I am going to check out that Battle Hub mode, but there was a problem in the beta. In the beta, anyone could join the lobby you were in and then basically spam the chat with disgusting stuff. And they were doing it constantly. When I was playing the betas, they were basically going in there and saying really disgusting things, and everyone was like, what the fuck? You know, people just in the server are like, what are you saying? Like, why are you saying this disgusting stuff? Because they're trying to get attention on my stream. There was no way at that point to disable the chat. At all. There's no way to disable the chat in Battle Hub. So here I am trying to play the beta, and you got idiots getting attention on my stream saying gross shit. I compared this to back in the day when I used to have comments open on my YouTube videos, and there was no moderation or anything back then. So it was the Wild West, and people would come by and say racist stuff, sexist stuff, disgusting sexual things, insults to myself and my family members, basically things that would get people's attention. They even doxed me, put my fucking street address in the comments of my videos, right? They're doing it on purpose to get attention, you know? And that's dumb. How did Capcom not know that's not wanted if I want to turn up? What if you have a kid, a small kid, and they want to play Street Fighter, which they should have the right to do. It's a you know, teen-rated game. Kids should be able to play it. But what if you don't want them seeing bad stuff in the chat? You can't disable the chat? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's stupidity. That's absolute stupidity. Look at this. Some moron in the chat who I'm now banning is actually passing around a detractor meme saying, didn't you hand out business cards with your street address on it? No, I never did. I never had business cards with my street address on it. That was an idiotic troll who photoshopped it on the internet, you fucking moron. And you're so dumb you believed it. What an idiot.